Hi, everyone. Welcome to the 700 Club. I'm Andrew Knox in for Gordon today. Hezbollah fired 150 rockets into northern Israel today. This after Israeli warplanes destroyed more than 1,000 missiles on their launch pads Thursday.
And Hezbollah's leader is pledging retaliation after an unprecedented attack on its communication devices that put thousands of terrorists out of commission. CBN's Chris Mitchell reports.
The exchange of fire on the northern border is some of the most intense fighting since the war began.
Our goal is to ensure the safe return of Israel's northern communities to their homes. As time goes by, Hezbollah will pay an increasing price.
The IDF Chief of Staff also announced they've approved battle plans for the northern frontier. All this comes the same week as thousands of Hezbollah pages and walkie-talkies suddenly exploded across Lebanon.
The enemy crossed in this operation all the rules, laws, and red lines.
Hezbollah leader Hassan Nasrallah says as long as the IDF is at war with Hamas, the terror group's ally in Gaza, they'll never let Israel's residents return safely to the north.
No military escalation, no killing, no assassinations, and no all-out war can return the population to the borders. Never, God willing.
Yigal Karman of the Middle East Media Research Institute tells CBN News Hezbollah's prestige has dropped dramatically in the Arab world.
The Arab world sees that they are not as big and strong as they pretended to be. The Arabs are happy about it because they were a danger to them no less than they were a danger to us.
Meanwhile, Israel submitted a new proposal to the U.S. to end the war in Gaza. It would free all the remaining hostages while allowing Hamas leader Yahya Sinwar safe passage out of Gaza, guarantee the release of more Palestinian prisoners, and demilitarize Gaza with a new governing authority. Thursday, the United Nations Security Council held hearings on the growing tensions in the Middle East. Israel's ambassador said Iran is the main source behind the conflict because it's funding and instigating proxy armies like Hezbollah, Hamas, and others.
The Iran proxies are all Iran's attack dogs, unleashed to spread death and destruction across the region. These proxies are the claws of a beast that is not content with attacking Israel alone, but is curving paths toward the domination of the Middle East.
In light of the situation in the north, thousands gathered at the Western Wall in Jerusalem to pray for the return of the hostages, protection for the soldiers, and for peace and unity within Israel. Chris Mitchell, CBN News, Jerusalem.
Thank you, Chris. In other news, concern about Iran's aggression in the Middle East is getting attention on Capitol Hill. Lori Johnson has that story and more from the CBN Newsroom. Lori.
Andrew, Republicans are criticizing the Biden administration for not doing enough to deter Iran's deadly activities. In House hearings Thursday, they pointed out Tehran's support for the terror groups Hamas and Hezbollah, as well as the Houthis in Yemen, whose missile strikes threaten maritime security and global oil supplies. Republicans argue the administration's response of prioritizing diplomacy has not altered Iran's goal of regional domination.
Why has this administration basically stood idle while Iran continues to supply our enemies?
The administration says we don't want confrontation and we don't want escalation. I would actually rather that Iran didn't want escalation or confrontation.
Actions discussed include increasing sanctions on Iran, more military support for Israel and Gulf allies, and countering cyber threats. Regent University honored a longtime servant of Israel and the Jewish people this week. Former U.S. Ambassador to Israel David Friedman received the Defender of Israel Award. Michelle Bachman, Dean of Regent's Robertson School of Government, presented Friedman with the statue of George Washington praying. It's in recognition of his work as one of the architects of the Abraham Accords, the peace agreements between Israel and peace-seeking nations in the Middle East. The award presented as Regent launches its new Institute for Israel Studies, a great addition to Regent University, Andrew.
Yeah, thank you, Lori. I happened to be at that event, and Ambassador Friedman is certainly a foremost expert on the entire region, and that is a well-deserved award, and his analysis of the region is something you really might want to consider checking out.